Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will learn about useEffect hook in React. UseEffect hook is mainly used for handling side effects in React. Side effects, as the word implies, are anything that interacts outside of component's rendering process. For example, fetching data through API, set timeout, set interval, setting up event listeners. This is the syntax of useEffect. We'll understand now meaning of each of the code. Side effect function is where you will add the logic of side effects that will happen. For example, calling API, set timeout or adding event listeners, these logics will go here. Dependencies array can have 3 values, blank array, no array and array with some state. This is cleanup code, which is optional, which will run before component unmounts. We'll learn about this with example shortly. Here, first we have created useEffect without any dependency array. Here, we have created button on click of which counter is increasing. Now, let's check the output. The console log in useEffect would be displayed every time counter is increased. Now, observe every time counter is updated, console log would be displayed. So, this shows that, when we don't have any dependency array in useEffect, the code inside useEffect runs every time in that case. Now, let's see same example with blank dependency array in useEffect. Rest of the code is same, now in this case the console would be displayed only once. Now, observe even if counter is updated, console log would not be displayed on every render. With blank array, useEffect only run once, that is on mount of the component. Now, let's see same example with state dependency array in useEffect. To explain this, I have created 2 counters, one for increment and one for decrement. Now, here I am calling useEffect twice. One with increment counter dependency array. One with decrement counter dependency array. Here, we are increasing or decreasing counter based on button clicked. Now, let's see output. This is the state of component on render. Now, let's click on increment counter. As we can see here, only increment counter log is printed. This is because we have passed state dependency array. Now, let's check with decrement counter. In this case too, only decrement counter log is printed. The increment log above it is from previous render of clicking increment button. Let's understand the use of cleanup in useEffect. For that first I have created counter here. Here in useEffect, we will create set interval, which will increment counter value every 1000 milliseconds. Now, we'll add return to clear interval when component unmounts. Here, we have added blank dependency. So, it will only clean up on component unmount. We'll display counter like shown above. Now, to check the output, we have created button on click of it timer counter, which would be mounter, unmounted based on button click. Let's check output. This is state of component when mounted. As you can see, the counter is getting updated after every 1000 milliseconds. Now, if we click on unmount timer, then console and cleanup would be displayed. So, interval cleared is displayed on console as component is unmounted. So, you might be thinking why cleanup is necessary. So, if in previous example if we don't clear set interval then it will be running in memory, even if component is unmounted. Thus, it can cause memory leaks, unnecessary background work, where CPU is wasted. Can also get React warnings like below. Can't perform a React state update on an unmounted component. Thus, cleanup improves performance and more importantly prevents memory leaks and bugs caused due to it. As we have learnt the syntax and its meaning in useEffect, let's see an example which will fetch API data and display. Here, I am using mock API from JSON placeholder. You can replace that with real API. Then that data will get in JSON format from JSON method and will store that in student state array as shown. Now, we are displaying that data using map and displaying its details. This would be the output from API. Like this we can use useEffect for fetching API data. Now, let's see some problems which we might encounter and how to fix them. We will see issues with examples and then solutions to fix it. Here we will see first problem, that is object dependency. Here object named config is created in the component but outside of useEffect. But we need to use this object inside useEffect. We are using that object in useEffect as dependency and it is used as object for fetching API data. The issue here is the object is created in component and used as dependency, so React will see it as new reference on every render, even if object contents are not changed. And this happens because React compares dependencies using shallow equality. Thus, it will cause effect to run more than needed and it would be performance issue. We can fix this by using useMemo. Please check out my video on useMemo. We can also fix this by creating object inside useEffect, like shown here. Why this helps? Because as you create object inside, it's not mentioned in dependency array. So, React won't rerun effect, as it only reruns when dependencies are changed. Same like object dependency, let's take a look at functional dependency. Here function to fetch API created outside useEffect. As you can see, fetch data is dependency of useEffect and is called inside useEffect. This has same issue like object dependency. As fetch data is created outside useEffect, every time new reference of it is created and thus useEffect reruns unnecessarily. Now, here again like object dependency, one solution is using useMemo. Please check out the video which I have linked in this video. And another solution is as shown above, creating function inside useEffect. This will not re-render useEffect unnecessarily, as effect only re-renders when dependencies are changed. Let's see another issue and how to solve it by example. This issue is infinite loop, that is infinite rendering of useEffect. This occurs when you are updating state variable inside useEffect and using the same state variable in dependency array of useEffect. In this example, as shown, counter is updated inside useEffect and its use as dependency as well. As its dependency, every update will trigger re-render and thus effect will rerun and thus infinite uncontrolled loop is created. Solution is you can use set interval and show updated value after specific interval. So, that counter will keep updating after specified time. This will work, but this console log will give stale value that you can fix with useRefHook. For useRefHook, please check my useRef video. So, this is it for useEffect. Now, let's have quick summary for it. UseEffect is used for interacting outside of component, that is with side effects. It replaces 3 lifecycle methods of class component as below. Component didMount is replaced by useEffect blank dependency array. Component didUpdate is replaced by listing the specific dependencies in the dependency array. Component will unmount is replaced by cleanup function, the one that is returned by callback. We need to avoid below things to avoid pitfalls. For preventing unnecessary reruns, don't create function or object in component but outside useEffect. Instead use useMemo or use callback respectively, or create those inside useEffect. For preventing infinite loops, don't update the state which is used as dependency in array inside useEffect. Instead, only list the inputs which are needed to cause that effect. Now, this is it for today's video. We will meet in next video with another hook or another React topic. If you have any topic in mind, please let me know in comments below. Do subscribe to my channel and like the video and share it with anyone who wants to learn React. We'll meet you next video. Till then, bye bye and happy coding.